Hello Generals and welcome to the War Planet Online Update 7 live stream. I'm Alex, your host, and in the comments and chat you will find community managers Ivana and Gabriel who are going to be there answering your questions throughout the stream, so be sure to hit them up with anything you want to know there. Of course, you'll also be talking to them on the forums and on the game's Facebook page and YouTube and Instagram channel. So anytime you communicate with War Planet Online, that will be who you're with. And it's a very important week for War Planet Online. This is update 7, but more importantly, it is the first anniversary update for War Planet Online. That's right, it's been 12 months that you guys have been building the community, dominating each other on the battlefield, taking out renegades and fighting off colliding worlds. So first up, we'd like to thank you a lot for that, because it's you guys who have made the game what it is. I can't believe it's been 12 months. The time has flown past just so fast. Today, we are going to be looking at a stack of new features, including changes to the defensive commander, improvements to renegade invasions, tripping over my own words now, and new HQ improvements. And that's perhaps the most exciting part, because it's really going to launch the game into a whole new level. So you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer to see that. I'm sure some of you will have already noticed it in game. And for people who are asking when they will be able to play this update on Windows, you already can. The update has just gone live there, so now everybody should have access to the things we'll be talking about today. Other things that will be going on throughout the live stream, we're going to have some questions. There will be the terms and conditions in the comments and in the video description to make sure that you're eligible to win. You might want to check those out. But when I ask the questions, just put the answer into the comments and you could be in with a chance to win 10,000 medals. So it'll be Ivana picking the winners at random for that, so keep an eye out. Also, at the end of this stream, we are going to be announcing the winners of the Rocket Giveaway t-shirt competition, which right here, you get your Mandy Copcut shirt. It's a little bit see-through at the moment. That might not be a feature that your shirt gets, but it's absolutely brilliant design, and 3 winners will be announced at the end of this stream for that competition that was up on Facebook recently. So if you entered that, do keep an eye out, because we will have the winners for you. But I've been talking this big long enough, so I'm going to shrink down here and we're going to have a look at the game and some of the things that are happening. And one of the big things coming this update are, well, the first thing we're going to talk about, and one of the big things coming this update, are the presets for your defensive commander. Now, this isn't my save, unfortunately. This is for reasons that I will discuss later. My save is currently unable to show all the features that we would like to show this live stream. So we're going to start off with the defensive commander, and now there are presets available for him. Oh, I'm in the way. Let me just move myself a little bit, shall we? I'll go over here. Okay. So, one thing that's coming in this update are these 5 presets. Now, as you level up your HQ, you'll gain access to more of these. And these are going to be incredibly useful for more powerful generals on the field, because it's going to let you be more versatile and more reactive to situations. Now, as the name suggests, this is going to allow you to build a variety of different loadouts for your defensive commander. In this case, we have 3 built here. We've got an army build, as we called it, a production build, and a defense build. And as you can see, they've all got icons to enable you to easily spot the ones you want to move between. Incredibly helpful. Just having a quick look over in the chat. Thank you, Sharif, for the happy anniversary. Hi, Mohammed. Good to see you. Savik, hi. Good to see everybody in the chat. I'll be checking in with that. But while we keep on with this, so these presets are going to allow you to build out for specific scenarios, and importantly, switch on the fly incredibly quickly. Now, one thing to note is that you will have to have VIP active to be able to have access to multiple access to all of your presets. And when your VIP ends, your new default preset will be whichever one you are on at the end. So here, let's just have a quick look at what I've got built out. I have an army build, which is basically a build that I have to maximize the size of my army. And then alongside that, I have the defense build. And while it's called defense, it will maximize the defense, but it also will maximize the stats of my army. So one thing that I'm going to be able to do now is switch on the fly without fiddling around and changing each and every part of my preset. So for example, if I decide I'm going to launch an attack, I can switch to my army build, launch the largest army I possibly can. Then once it starts to move out of my base and that size is locked, I switch to my defensive build, and suddenly that whole army is buffed and allows those benefits to carry through. So I get the best of both worlds without having to fiddle around with each and every single one of those items. It's really going to help people who have built out, got all the equipment for their defensive commander, and make use of everything as quickly as they can and react, as I say, to situations. Also, of course, if you see something incoming and you're like, oh, that looks like a bit more than I can handle with one build, you can have your defense build. That's going to maximize stats, or be able to maximize yourself for gathering. So if you want to go out into the world, for example, here, this is going to maximize my load for when I'm bringing things back, but also the speed of my, so I've got load capacity there, crafting speed and resource production speed. That's going to maximize how quickly things come back to me. There we go. Research speed there again. That's going to help me research and upgrade faster. But you can build out your presets for whatever scenarios you choose. Brilliant. So I'm sure within minutes you guys are going to work out more interesting ways than me to maximize this. So remember, when you do make them clear. Use the icons that we have set there, because that's going to allow you to identify your presets far more quickly. And let us know in the comments if you're already making use of this, or if there's things that you are planning to do with it that are going to synergize those different abilities in ways that maybe we haven't necessarily thought of yet. Definitely targeted at power players, and we look forward to seeing how you all use them. Now, if you're paying attention at the start of the stream, one thing I promised was that we were going to have giveaways of 10,000 medals for people who can answer our questions correctly. So the first one of those is coming up in just a second. Ivana is going to be looking for the winner among the comments, so you're going to want to get this up as quickly as possible. Make sure she sees your answer clearly. The first question is, and I've touched on this a few times, how many equipment presets are you able to unlock? One more time, that's how many equipment presets will you be able to unlock? Put your answers in the comments. Be sure to check those terms and conditions in the video description. And very soon we will have that, the winner, both picked in the chat, and I'll mention it on stream. So get ready. I hope you remembered. This time we gave you the answer before, so you had to be paying attention. Next time we're going to give you the answer in the next segment, so you're going to want to be listening very carefully once that starts up. Okay, so just a reminder for people just arriving, I'm Alex. I'm the host of the War Planet Online Update 7 live stream. That is the anniversary. That's right. It's been 12 months that you guys have been dominating the battlefield in War Planet Online. In the comments, we have Gabriel and Ivana. They are going to be answering your questions throughout the stream. So great to see you all in there. Who have we got? Francois, Christophe, Mohammed. Good to see you all coming in to watch and hear more about the anniversary update, Update 7. Because what we're going to be, we've just talked about equipment presets. Very soon we're going to be talking about changes that have been made to Renegade Invasion events, some other things going on with Renegades and events in general. Plus, we're going to be looking at the new Stellar, what would you call it? The new stellar opportunities that will be coming for your faction. Okay, so one thing that is coming in this event, another thing that is coming in the Update 7 is the Renegade Invasion. Now, that has obviously existed before, but we are making changes to it to make it even more exciting for you guys as players. Now, you'll have as I say, you'll have recognized this if you've been playing for a while, but the change is that now Renegade is set to invade your capital city. So you're going to have to prepare your defenses and get ready to launch counterattacks on Renegade bases to prevent their assaults. So while that's all very fun, I should probably jump out into the world so you can see more of that, because while my base is very exciting, and we've got some exciting things just up at the top corner here, just at the top corner, or we'll talk about it later. we do have these Renegade events, and they are going to be launching very soon. Now, one thing is that as they come and attack you, you are now going to be able to launch counterattacks, attack the Renegade base, and if you defeat them, not only will you stop the attack then, you're also going to be able to, they will no longer be able to attack you throughout the event. So that's a lasting bonus you have. And the reason that's important is because now the rewards at the end of the Renegade invasion event are going to be even better, and it's based on the number of faction capitals you hold at the end of the event. So at the end of the event, every base, every capital you hold is going to give you 3 Sentinel points for every level it has. So if you have two capitals rather, sorry, tripping over my words again, 2 capitals, each at level 3, each of those 3 levels is going to get 3 Sentinel XP, and you've got 2 of them, and that brings you to a total of 18 Sentinel XP for those 2 capitals. I hope that makes sense. I'm sure if you want to check that in more detail, then check out the War Planet Online notes and the update notes, because they'll have a better breakdown for you to visualize exactly how that's going to benefit you. So come the end of the event, you want to be holding as many capitals as possible, and there are some new things coming in this update that are going to allow you to more easily hold on to even more of those. On the downside, the Renegades are going to be overpowered during this event. They're going to get a 50% increased power to their armies and power, so you're going to want to check their buffs on the world map, because it's going to get really, really hard to fight those backup points if you've not rallied and got some powerful members of your faction on the side. But on the plus side, if you defeat their bases, not only do you stop them attacking, but you also get 50% greater rewards than you would usually. So winning all around there if you can manage to destroy and decimate those bases with the rest of your faction. Another thing that's going to play into this, let's just have a look at a Renegade base since we're up in the world. I do love the art in this game. It's small and detailed, but it looks so nice. Should we launch a rally? Let's do a little 5-minute rally. No, we don't have time. Too much to move on through. So another thing that's coming in this update is a faction event rework. Now, this updates the entire faction reward system during events to make sure everybody gets involved, rewarding active players. So everybody will get onto a leaderboard by completing milestone events during an event. And what that allows, as you reach these specific milestones, your rewards will be you'll be rewarded based on how far you reach. So during the Renegade faction event, you're going to want to get into the game early throughout the event. Make sure you're logging in regularly to take part in the different things to meet those milestone thresholds and maximize your rewards. So make sure you're in there playing all the time. Great work, everybody. Just before I move on to a little bit more about Renegades and some changes coming to those, we do have our first winner. And I think this has been mentioned in the chat already, but in case you missed it, Troy Hogner, well done. You are getting 10,000 medals. Keep an eye on your DMs. I'm sure Ivan will be reaching out to you very soon to make sure you get those rewards. Let us know what you use them for. You're going to need them. Well, you're not going to need them. We're always going to need medals. But coming up, you're going to be very excited to have those in the bank for some of the changes that are coming. Okay, another thing that's coming up soon are the Marauders. Now, this is a new faction, a new Renegade type coming for this event. It involves some lovely new art. So let's just have a quick look at them out now that we're out on the battlefield. Here we have Reaper Rodriguez. She's an artillery marauder. Now, these guys are vicious. They're very, very powerful, and they're focused on destruction and chaos. So you're going to keep an eye out when you're fighting these guys, because they are going to prove difficult. What I love about these guys, again, like I mentioned before how much I love the art in this game, but all of these Renegades have got a different look. These Marauders have a different look to your standard Renegades during the course of this event. So you've got Reaper Rodriguez here with that kind of slightly grittier artillery. Let's mix it up, see who else we've got. Dash Dave. I like Dash Dave because he's got the easiest name to pronounce for me. And he's an assault. Obviously they level up and you get some very high level ones that you're going to have to fight. Who else have we got? Tyler Claus Lewis. The aerial Marauder there, again, far darker look. Really looks like he's sweeping in. Now these guys they love chaos, basically, despite their organization and order, which is a bit of an oxymoron in their own way, but there you go. They're going to sweep across the land in organized fashion, trying to take down your bases, devastate everything in their path, and you're going to want to hunt them down across the map and get rid of them before they can turn on you. And of course, grab the loot they leave, because they're going to help you with extra different items to collect to help you build more powerful equipment, and help you level up your commander with the new year's gear, because there's obviously new stuff coming there. The boss renegades of this lot are 3 times stronger, which is quite a lot. If you hit the level 6 bosses, they're 3 times stronger than the level 5 ones, which is really, really hard to even get my head around, because I don't have much luck fighting the level 5 ones as it is. But they offer 4 times the commander XP, so there's a real payoff there. As it goes up, that's a lot more reward. Renegades are 10 times stronger. You want to look for them on the field. You'll notice the buffs on them in a video we'll play later. You want to keep an eye out for that. But you'll also get 10% more commander XP again. So a lot of focused on leveling up your commander. Let's just see one more while we're here. Is this, no, we've seen Dash Dave. There's somebody that I can't pronounce at all on that. Let's see if we can hunt down the art on that while I talk about. Is that it? Nope. Reap Rodriguez. I'd ask you all to call out on the stream, but I think there's too much lag to spot it. Where are you hiding? Nope. Nope, there was one. He was right by my base before, and they've scarpered. Is that you? Yes. There we go. I knew that somewhere in here there would be an armored one. And this is Besnaya Sobaka Desenkiv. I should be able to do that. I'm sorry, anybody who can pronounce that. If you can do a phonetic one in the comments, I'll be sure to give it a shot. Yes. Okay, so another one of the Marauders. Great looking art for both the character and the army there. Renegade bases also receives a slight buff during the Marauder event, but the bonuses they give have also been increased. I think you're noticing a pattern with that at this point. Something else that's worth noticing, you might have spotted it up in the top left corner there. We have some new... I'm being informed that Besnaya Sobaka means mad dog. Thank you, Ivana, keeping me in there. Sorry, clearly I am Dashkenvich. Thank you, Kamal rather. Dashkevich. There we go. Thank you all. I'm getting informed. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, what I was saying. There's 2 new avatars. We have the Space Bandit. I wonder why he's from space. And also the can we flip over there? The sad face spaceman. I wonder why it's all focused on space. I'm sure we'll find out later. And also something quite important. We've been talking a lot about the Commander XP you'll be able to get coming up. And one part of that is going to be that you're now going to be able to reset your Sentinel points, which is quite exciting. And you know, the bonus of resetting that is that you're going to be able to respec. I've just thought of something I missed in all of this, and that's a quick video we were going to show you of what the Renegade invasions look like now. As I previously mentioned, during the Renegade invasion event that will be taking place, you're going to be able to both defend and counter attack. So in this scenario, we're defending our capital. Obviously, there we go, sending them off to defend. Apologies for skipping over this at the time, but it's important we have a quick look and see just how it pans out. Coming in, Starkey here is coming in quite weak, but reinforcements will be on the way to help back him up, and loses that one, which means this capital's in danger of being lost, but sending out reinforcements straight away to further back up the capital city. Very important to hold on to the city there, as if you lose it, again, those rewards at the end of the event will be, you'll lose more of them. One other thing is obviously the Renegade bases. If you attack these guys, as I've alluded to, and destroy the bases, you are going to stop them, and their counterattacks. So that's something to keep in mind, because once they're defeated, not only will you get the extra bonuses that are on hand during this event, but if you can wipe out all the waves, you will have neutralized that Renegade faction's base throughout the Renegade event. So sorry, doubling back on that from the Marauders we were just talking about, this is a slightly different thing, but important you see just how that mechanic's going to work. So yes, counterattacks for these invasions events are going to be important, and also taking part in these events, because if you reach the milestones for the various milestones you'll be set, the greater rewards you'll get at the end. Okay, there we go, back to me. So I hope all of that makes sense, and I hope you are ready for all the things that are coming. So just a quick reminder to people who are just arriving. This is the War Planet Online Update 7 live stream, and we are now 1 year into the game. Thank you to everyone for all the incredible work you've done building this community and building these worlds that are now fighting each other. It's hard to believe it's been 12 months of Renegade invasions, smashing each other players online, building factions, and fighting off other worlds in World Collisions events. Incredible work. Thank you, everyone. In the comments, we have Ivana and Gabriel. They're both going to be there answering your questions live online as we go. And so far we've talked about the equipment presets that are coming for your defensive commander in-game. We've also touched on changes to the Renegade invasion, changes to events in general, and the Marauders that are coming very soon. Keep an eye out for that event coming in-game. Also, anybody who's playing on Windows will be able to start enjoying this update now. We know it was a little bit later than the other versions, but it is now here, so everybody can start enjoying all of this. We've been talking about the medal giveaway. We've had one of those already, and we are about to have our second. And I'd like you all to pay attention for a chance to win 10,000 medals before we move into the next section. Anybody who might not know the answer to this unless you've been reading the notes, but they have been on Facebook, and the answer is coming in what I am about to explain. The second question is, what will you be able to send to outer space? So what will you be able to send to outer space? Let us know in the comments the answer to that question. Ivana is going to be picking a winner in the next, let's say, 5 minutes, because I haven't yet got to talking about what happens with outer space. So if you jump into the game now with this update, you will have been met with this. This is John E. Knight. He is a new character coming to the game, and the captain of your Orbital Command Center. But before that, and of course, your astronaut, your pilot for your rocket. That's right, the Space Center is there, and this will shoot items in space and open up entirely new events, or entirely new missions for you to undertake. Coming back to me. So one thing that you might have noticed at the end of that, you have 24 hours to wait after the first rocket launch, and after that you need to be level 13 to begin upgrading your space center and saving items in space. But once you are doing that, and this is one reason that we couldn't be looking at my version of the game, because on my phone I've still got 2 hours until it unlocks for me. So I thought we'd jump into somebody else's save just for this. One thing that will open up on the Space Center once you're there is the launch option. This is one of the various things here, obviously. Now, the launch sets you missions. Now, these missions are going to allow you to send specifically materials into space that are going to help you upgrade your orbital command and power it up. So what you'll be looking at are sending things like construction supplies and core energy to the ultimate command. So that's what you're sending up into space. And there are 5 levels of these missions to unlock. And obviously, the greater the levels you go up, the more you send up. But also, the greater rewards you get, the greater chests you get coming back from the orbital command. Once you begin upgrading your space center, you're going to get better missions to undertake, so you're going to want to get onto that as soon as it's fully unlocked. and after your test flight has returned, but only after you hit level 13. Now, space missions, these are actually quite similar to covert ops. Maybe we can send one up now. Highlight Orbital Command there. About to launch spacecraft on mission. Yeah, I'm sure. Let's do that. Off it goes. And my spacecraft is now en route to Orbital Command. As I said, these missions have 5 rarities, and you'll get crafting materials, power-ups, and speed-ups from completing them. So that's going to be fantastic. One thing to note is that while you're sending all of these to the Orbital Command, the Orbital Command is shared by your faction. So the moment you join a faction, or the moment you create a faction, your Orbital Command Center is built, and it will unlock unique strategic abilities that will provide support to your whole faction. Now, there'll be passive abilities within this, but also active abilities, and we're going to be looking at that in a second. But you're going to have to make sure with your whole faction that you're sending up both those core energy to power up your space station, to allow your faction leader to take command of the active abilities and utilize them in game. And some of those are going to be very helpful in the missions that are coming up. So we have another winner. So for the last question was, what will you be able to send to space? And construction supplies and core energy were the correct answer, in case you're wondering why I highlighted those quite so aggressively when we were talking about them just before. And the winner is Mohammed Akib. So Mohammed Akib, well done. Ivana will be hitting you up on in your messages to make sure she can get the details she needs to get you your 10,000 medals in game. Now, also, straight from that, we are going to move into something that I've already answered if you were paying attention, and that is our final question. Again, answer in the comments, the chat. And the question is, how many active skills will the Orbital Command provide? How many active skills? There are active and passive skills, but this one is for active specifically. Again, if you haven't already checked them, in the comments, in the video description, there are the terms and conditions for this competition, so make sure you're eligible to enter, obviously, first. And now we're going to have a look at some of these different abilities. Now let's go up to Orbital Command to check that out, because this is where the real action takes place for us. There we see the Orbital Command and the active abilities dotted around it there. But before we do that, let's have a look at some of the passive ones. As I said, this is created the moment your faction is created. So these passive bonuses that we see here will be active immediately for everyone in your faction. Starts off pretty weak though, so you're going to have to get those resources up there to really power it up. And the more effort all of you put in, the greater those bonuses and rewards will be. Now these bonuses include elite deposit gathering speeds. So the bonuses here range from 10 to 60% for the speed gathering speed on those. So when you get up to the high end, you're really getting a massive buff on that. Elite deposit replenish. Now the respawn on that will up to 10 to 60 minutes faster. Another big jump. Charging into space, you'll be able to get cores up to space. You'll be able to receive more cores for faction territory rewards. And there are other, now I could keep saying these out loud, but at some point I'm just reading you what's in the notes. Go to the War Planet Online Facebook page, which is probably where you're watching this after the video, and you can check the full notes to see everything that's available here. Plus, of course, once you have the Orbital Command Center, Orbital Command Station unlocked, you'll be able to see it all in game. Now, more excitingly, knowledge is power there. Increased intel drops, that one. So not more excitingly, because those are, obviously the passive buffs are exciting, but the visually more exciting are the active abilities we have, and these are going to start to play very heavily into events. Now if you remember, and something I touched about on when we were talking about how the event system is changing, where at the end of the event, at the end of the Renegade Invasion event, you are going to get more Sentinel XP based on the number of capitals you hold. Don't know why I'm forgetting words today. Based on more capitals you hold, you're going to have things in here that are really going to help you tip the balance on that. One of those is an anti-renegade module. Now, as I said, you can counterattack now, as already mentioned. You can counterattack the Renegade bases, and if you destroy it, they will no longer be able to attack, helping you hold your capitals. So using this to take down, to sabotage those bases on your attack is really going to help you neutralize those threats. Now, there is a cooldown timer on this, so you're not going to be able to use it constantly, but as you, it's about the buff lasts for 4 days and the cooldown lasts for about 5 days. So you're going to want to make careful use of that when you're on the attack, and make sure you're taking out the most powerful bases. But I'm sure your faction leader will be on the ball and making sure that they utilize these effectively. Also in that regard, keep in mind that you're going to be stretched a bit thin during this event, and you could be prone to maybe somebody coming in to snatch your capital at the last second there, take that for their own, get something like XP points, and then not worry if they lose it, as long as they have it for the end of the event to get those rewards. Now, one thing you can use this for is the Peace Shield module. Now, this will be able to shield your provincial capital anywhere controlled by your faction. So any renegades, any other players coming in to try and take those, you can activate that, drop it on your base, and stop that coming. So, for example, something a little bit like this. So there we go, we're locating our provincial capital and then activating the good old Peace Shield. Whoom! Completely defending it. Bad luck, attackers. We are safe. Handy thing to have, and a great way to make sure you hold on to command of your capital there. So that's just one of the ways you can make use of that. And of course, combine that with combined the passive upgrades and these upgrades with the pre-built, the preset abilities you have for your defensive commanders now, and you're going to notice all sorts of new ways to make use of this and turn the tide at unexpected moments. Let's have a look at one more of these orbital command skills. So here are all of them, as you can see. So there we go with the tactical drill. Defeating renegade base camps in your territory. Going to activate this. Are they going to activate it? I'm pretty sure I watched this video. They do activate it. And zapping down. And as we see there, you can see the XP buffs that these renegade factions have. And there you go. A little bit of a bonus there. Coordinate, get everyone in your faction to rally as that hits the camp, and you're going to notice the difference as you attack. Incredibly useful, and it's these synergies that have become a real focus in the new update. Ooh, clearly everybody's very excited to play, because I just lost connection there for a moment. I'm sure it'll come back in just 2 seconds. So on to our final winner today. As you noticed, as we were talking, the one question we had there was how many active skills will the Orbital Command provide? Active skills and passive skills, each of them are 5, so you're going to want to start upgrading that Orbital Command soon. But our winner is Japs Martin Cruz. So thank you very much. Again, Ivan will be reaching out to you to make sure you get those rewards. Right, let's just have a quick look over at the comments, see if anything's been going on here. Nope, there's some Japanese there. Yoshi. Okay. Yep. Yep, no internet. Yeah, you spotted that. Thank you very much. I think we're just having some trouble in the studio here. Hopefully that will come back on. But I think we've shown the majority of everything to come. Let's just see if this comes back on and we'll launch an attack on one of those renegade bases and maybe make use of some other bits there. But before we do that, if this comes back, we are just going to let you know one other thing that we wanted to touch on today, which was the winners of the Rocket Giveaway t-shirt competition, who get this amazing Mandy Kopka shirt, your Blitzer Commander. However, I can't promise that your t-shirt will be see-through. That's just a side effect of the green screen. So this was a great video, a great promotion put up by Ivana in on the Facebook page. You want to go and check out that video. It's a lot of fun. It might be a little out of date now, but it's talking about the Space Center before the Space Center happened and looking at some of the guesses people had about it. Brilliantly made video. So we had some great ideas in this. Some of them went from what will the rocket be used for. Some of them were like ordering pizza in, which is a really dramatic way to get your pizza to land in your lap, to aliens. Now, unless you count invading Earth worlds as alien planets, that's not quite what we had. But what we do have are a whole load of other great bonuses that we've talked about. Now, the winners are Alexander Kostic. They thought it would be something like a Tesla seal to protect your faction. Absolutely right there. So that's your one winner. You're getting this shirt. Not this one, you'll get a clean one. Scott James Bolton, rocket into space that will dock with an orbital array to give multiple attacks on targets. Absolutely correct as well. And finally, Martin Fredrickson. It's a space station, but the space station has weapons, like an orbital command center. Bang on with the name there. That will control short missiles against the planet. Absolutely perfect. So all three of you, again, that's Alexander Kostic, Scott James Bolton, and Martin Fredrickson, will be receiving one of these lovely shirts. Congratulations to all of you generals, and the War Planet Online team will be making sure you get those rewards. Okay, I'm not having any more luck getting my connection back, so apologies for that. We will going to be leaving that part of the stream there. But a quick recap of everything we have looked at today. We've looked at the presets for your commanders. Now, again, there are 5 of these possible. You could be able to completely equip your commander with defensive commander with various equipment that you'll be able to switch between really quickly to sort any given situation. So if someone's coming into attack, you can up your defense. If you're sending out an attack, you can increase the army size before you engage and then up their attack power once they're in the field. All of that is going to be available to you in this update. Changes to the Renegade factions are obviously going to be coming with, as we were talked about before, events like this where we will be defending your capitals against the Renegade invasions. We've already shown this video, but we'll have another quick look. This is you making sure you have your entire faction rallying, going to defend these bases, because at the end of the event, the more capitals you hold, the greater rewards you are going to get. Another thing we have, of course, discussed are the space station, the orbital command and the space center, both of which are going to offer you incredible new ways to play. Between the space center, you're going to have new missions to undertake for new rewards, and then the orbital command is going to offer you passive bonuses and give your faction leader the ability to launch 5 new abilities on your opponents, either your opponents or the renegades. So you are all going to want to be contributing to that. Okay. And now one last one. So there we go. We've got the counterattack there. I think we looked at this before, but we ended it. Let's see if these guys were successful at the time. Just having a look at the comments. Yeah, reinstalling the game would absolutely solve the problem. Don't think you all want to see me going through that though. So, please tell me, can we get active skills solo, or is it for the whole faction? It's for the whole faction. The active skills, they'll be decided by your commander, the faction leader. So you want to make sure you make use of them. Any other questions here that I can answer right now? No. Okay. I think that's all the answers to things. Right, so they're still going, and as you see there, we've got pushing it back, and the Marauders and Top Fac is pushing on them. Obviously, really the weight of the sheer number of people and the reinforcements that came in there really pushed it back a little bit to give them the advantage. Cool. Okay, and now just one look at the invading bases there. This is something else new. Again, we had a look at this previously, but this is really going to make a difference to if you can take out these bases, then it's going to stop the counterattacks during the invasion event that's coming soon. Just have a quick look at this attack, and then I think we're going to call it a day. So yes, and everybody that wants a t-shirt, I'm sure there'll be more chances for you to win in the future. Black Hawk here is up against the Renegade base. Now, as we mentioned before, these bases are they're getting a buff during the event, so don't expect them to be a pushover, but the rewards will be even greater. As we see there, we're going through the waves, and Black Hawk is doing pretty well at this point, making use of nukes and other abilities there to really push back the Renegade base's waves, but there are still more waves to come, which perhaps is ultimately going to wear Black Hawk down. Yeah, still got the edge here. Wave 4. Who wants to reckon that we'll get past wave 5 or not? The computer version, Nazir Ali Passar, there should now be the update available, so you're going to want to keep an eye out for that. It did hit Windows today, so maybe go and check the store. Okay, are we going to get this? Wave 6? It's just back and forth. It gets really... watching these always gets me really tense. Especially when they're my own troops. Not so much this time, to be honest, but that kind of slow attrition of your own army, and then you're kind of there going like, I really hope something comes in to tip the balance for me, but somehow I seem to have poor luck with winning these, or perhaps poor skills. It's always one of the two. Really worn down now, Black Hawk up against a really powerful artillery base at this point. So are we going to get that push? And I think this will be wave 6 where we're really stamped out. Okay, and I think that marks where we truly got defeated at the end there. But better luck to you. Make use of all of your new orbital command abilities to push to make the difference and win those Renegade invasion events. Right, I think that's everything for Update 7 and War Planet Online's first anniversary update. On behalf of the entire War Planet Online, thank you to every one of you, every player, every commander, every general in the community who has made this last year as incredible as it has been. Really, it's because of you that this game works, and it's your passion and your following. So make sure you keep having your voice heard. Ivana and Gabriel will be in the comments on Facebook and on all the posts they put up. Drop your comments in there and on the forums as well. A huge thanks to everybody who's been in this stream. It's been great seeing you there. And a goodbye from me, a goodbye from Ivana, and a goodbye from Gabriel, your community managers. I will see you soon. Thank you all very much, generals. Next time.